I'll set up another Zoom with all of them, and then I'll let them know
Yeah,
what the issue is. Definitely
yeah.
the
Because if
attorney.
they can pay, look, if they can pay something for the students, you know what? I am very, very interested in the students. You know,
Yeah,
we will find a way. We will
yeah.
find. I think uh for a student, how much you think they can pay? Like I don't know.
Well, this guy from Venezuela, you know what I mean? He's basically living with his, he came and he's living
No,
with
no,
his
for him
father.
it's okay because you're gonna have the three. You're gonna
Yeah,
have
after
three students.
three, yeah. And the other
Yeah.
one,
Ask him
For the
about
others,
sponsors.
what about him?
If he has any,
yeah, for the
enough
others.
sponsors to
No, he
fund it.
doesn't. That's. Oh, Avi just came in, Jean Marie, and he's asking. Can I just give him an overview?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So Jean Marie said he wouldn't even mind doing an additional panel
Uh-huh.
afterwards.
Yeah.
He's tight on that time, but
Uh-huh.
what his problem is that they're tight on funds. So he's saying he wanted all the speakers that we get comp, but the rest of the speakers he would like to them having to register and pay.
Uh-huh.
And what I was telling him that some of the students
Yeah. Right.
he's almost indigent. I don't.
So yeah, right,
So
fine.
he's going to give
Why
three.
doesn't he get more sponsors?
Well, that's he would like to, but
Yeah,
it's
but
late.
it doesn't matter. But there are a lot of people that looking to sponsor.
Right. That's why I said maybe even this law firm. You know what I mean?
No, music.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That will be
Yeah,
great. That
the,
will be great.
the law firm, but you have a lot of music technology companies, like the companies that sell organs and all kinds of equipment.
Yeah.
That
Next time
That,
we'll help you,
you
Jean
know,
Marie, get sponsors because we're pretty good at
yeah.
that.
like music,
I really appreciate. Sorry.
like
You know
music
what?
companies that are selling. Let me talk to you. That music companies that are selling equipment, very expensive equipment, like Steinway
Mm-hmm.
piano. Every piano is a $250,000 or something like that, and they have a lot of equipment like organs with AI built in, so that you don't need to really know to play, and the organ can play on its own, or the piano can play on its own.
Mm-hmm.
These are very expensive equipment that, for example, the University of Miami bought several devices like that, and you can see them in public in the health. What is it called? The
Wellness,
in the health center. Another
health,
one,
of the NAR.
the Lanar Health Center. You can drive on US One. If you drive south from downtown Miami on US One, you'll see large signs University of Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look, there is a wellness center and a health center there off of US One. You cannot miss it when you drive south.
Yeah.
And and it's open to the public, so you can park your car somewhere and go inside, and you'll see that they have they have a huge reception area, and
Mm-hmm.
there is a piano, a Steinway, or one of these expensive pianos that can also play on its own. So
Mm-hmm.
all day long, the piano plays on its own, and sometimes students from the university music school and other people, professional players, want to advertise themselves, so they come there and they play. But
Mm-hmm.
but these companies are loaded with money, and they are looking for opportunities. You are the only conference about music technology that is in Miami, and maybe in the entire United States. I haven't found anything like that yet.
You're right. You're right. Thank you. I appreciate it. I
But
appreciate
you
it.
have to know
So,
who to target. When you go to a Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, which we go almost every year, you see the Japanese companies that are selling competitive
Samsung,
equipment like
Casio.
Casio, Sony, and all of them. They have musical instruments with a computer built into them, like
mm-hmm.
organs, and they
Yeah.
spend millions of dollars on a huge booth. So
Yeah.
if you contacted them, even in the last minute, and they have representatives in Miami, and they have stores in Miami, music stores,
Especially that represent for Latin America, Caribbean.
especially the headquarters of Latin America for all these companies is here in Miami.
Okay. Can you remind me the name, please?
I can tell you, it's very famous. You don't know Sony and Casio and Panasonic?
No, 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 no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know those. I know those companies. So,
Yeah.
look, what I would like to probably to do, I think it would be great um, for them to sponsor some students, you know. But if
No,
you, if
what will be even better is for them to bring a sample of their equipment and put it there and try to sell it there and have representatives that will
Almost like you're a little vendor,
demonstrate it
a little vendor room.
Mhm.
like a little vendor. And their vendors, especially in the summer, a lot of people are on vacation, so there are stores and they have showrooms. And
Yeah,
the stores and the showrooms are empty. The salesman sits there, has nothing to do, and they would love to do something that will bring them business, you know?
yeah, you're right.
And
You're
a
right.
lot of people from Latin America in the summer, they're coming here to shop. And
Yeah, exactly.
not only that, but the companies will send them and pay for them to, if they had an excuse and they can come to your show, and the company will pay for them to come to the show, and then they go to the malls here and they shop for the whole year. And a lot of them in the music technology industry are looking to come here and to buy here because they have huge tariffs in Latin America that an organ or a piano like that here costs maybe 100 or $200,000. There it costs 3 or 4 or 5 times the same the amount, like $1 million. So it is a huge difference.
Hmm.
And then if they buy it here, they pay a little taxes here. They can bring it into Latin America without having to pay 5 times as much.
You're right.
So, these are like household names. You know Panasonic, you dial 1-800 Panasonic, and you ask them who is the representative in the headquarters in Miami for Latin America. And the same,
Yeah.
you have Panasonic, you have Casio, and if you are not sure, you can go to even better would be to go to Best Buy, and Best Buy sells the cheaper models. They have
Hmm.
and they have sometimes the representative from the company come to explain about the technology because the salesman they cannot explain how the piano has AI and how you can connect the piano to the computer and put
Hmm.
put an SD card in the piano with music and it plays on its own because this is a very specific industry knowledge, only
Yeah,
and they have a new model every year.
yeah,
So
you're right.
if you even get one company, like a huge company like Panasonic, to sponsor your whole event, for them, your whole event, all the rent that you pay to the Hyatt is nothing for them.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
get it, and if you get one company to sponsor, then you go to the other companies, the competitors, and you tell them that
That's
Panasonic
one. Is
Panasonic is sponsoring you. They will also want to sponsor.
yeah, you're right.
And they have also broadcasting equipment. For example, Panasonic, they have cameras, and you can see you went to the emerge. You went to the show, right?
Yeah.
So you look in the ceiling in the convention center. You see cameras.
Hmm.
Some of these cameras are broadcast quality cameras, and if you saw in the presentation in which you saw us, there were cameras and they were broadcasting cameras. These cameras are surveillance cameras, and they can also broadcast the event, and they can host people inside the camera. Do you understand what it is hosting? Do you understand computers?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a computer science engineer.
Well,
Okay, so good. So there
well,
is a processor inside the camera and a
Hmm.
hard drive. It's a complete PC inside the camera, and you can host students inside the camera. Instead of coming to the classroom, they log into remotely into the camera, and they see a high resolution PTZ. This is pan, tilt, and zoom camera. So when there
Hmm.
is, remember in Emerge, there was questions to the audience, and people in the audience raised their hands.
Hmm.
So there was a cameraman in the room that was going around and broadcasting it from the broadcasting companies. But if you look in the ceiling, you will see that there are also PTZ cameras that are honing in on it and are also recording and broadcasting
And following the speakers.
and following the speakers. So these are companies that are multi-billion-dollar companies. For them to sponsor your show is a small change. They will not even have to approve it by the headquarters. But you have to approach, and you were there in the emerge. Besides handing, which
You
is
were
very,
in
very
DEF
good
CON
that you
too.
were handing out your postcards. But the key is to speak to the companies that are paying huge amount for the show, for
International
emerge, international conglomerates like Panasonic that has one camera, one commercial camera like that, that they, if you look in, you go into the University of Miami where you see this piano, you will see also cameras in the ceiling all over the place. And they also are in the classroom and they have projections and broadcasting equipment and all kinds of equipment like that. So it is a huge industry. And if you can get one of them to sponsor you, then you take that one and you go to their competitors and you tell them Panasonic is sponsoring me. Maybe you can also sponsor me. So they will not want to be excluded. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so very much.
You know, I don't want you to get us wrong. We want to help promote you. You understand?
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
You know what I mean? And later on, we can even do it. You know, it's tight since it's next week. But are you guys planning to do it again? What is your role, anyways, Jean-Marie? How did you get involved with this?
I'm the founder of the music tech company.
Oh, okay, great. I'm glad.
So we have a great plan. We have a wonderful plan. So what we're doing, and you can see, it's not only music. It's not only technology. It's also business. You know.
Right.
And the goal. We have a plan. It's the conference. It's something to connect. It's a platform to connect people. But from the connection, we have multiple. You know, where students like people in the music industry will grow together. So
right. And
we
what is your background, Jean-Marie?
He says it's computer science, you said?
Yeah, no. Computer science, and I have an MBA.
Oh, great.
You know, I have an MBA in concentration in data analytics.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I know. I moved to the US 2 years ago. I'm from Haiti.
We have a lot of Haitian friends, as a matter of fact, quite a few. And I want to tell you, no matter what shit you go through, you guys are just so industrious.
Did you see the conference that was recently in downtown Miami for Haitians?
Yeah, the Haitian for the Haitian months.
Right.
Yes, and there were a lot of people there, and they charged a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they were so loud that I was in another location in downtown Miami. It was so much noise that we couldn't hear talking to each other because their speakers were so loud.
Yeah. But no.
Yeah.
But these are the companies. These are the companies that are selling those huge speakers and very expensive equipment, like Panasonic, for example. You know, if you can get a company like that, a multi-billion-dollar multinational company like that, for them to sponsor you is small change.
No, sure, you're right. So this is a unique conversation. I know I used to see, conferences like, but our conversation, our conference is unique. You know,
it is unique, but you have to capitalize on it, and you have to, the business side, you have to take advantage of you being unique, and also it is very hard to find you on Google. When after you went to us and gave us a card, we thought that we were not really musicians, even though we are a kind of play and so on, but we are professional, we are business, we're in the business profession, and we help
and
doing...
Also we're basically
computer and IT.
And we're advisors to a number of tech companies and also business community as well, you know.
But it was very hard to find you on Google. I was trying to
So,
search for
mhm.
you, and if I didn't have your card and I didn't exactly know what you are, I couldn't find you on Google. When I type music, what did I type? Music technology. You came out number 5,000 or something like that. Nobody is going to go down
Right,
5,000
right.
places, you know.
Yeah. And it's
The,
impressive that you do it on your own. But next time, I tell you, we'll be happy to work with you, and then we can get, you'll see in terms of Miami Dade is just interested in that topic, University of
Yeah,
Miami,
for example, the University of Miami has an AI lab for music
music.
and
okay.
music and
Oh,
entertainment.
oh,
You
that's
know.
wonderful. Since we are in business as well, you know
Right,
how it is. So the thing is, we did first, and this is our goal. This is in our plan. It's to engage an ecosystem, people in the
right,
ecosystem. So this is why we have, you can see we have high profile like yourself, like the FCC chief of staff. We have CEOs. We have a lot of
right,
people coming in because that we want to engage an ecosystem, people in the ecosystem. We want to engage speakers, great speakers,
right,
institutions like FIU, they partner with us.
right.
We have Miami Dade County, the mayor will speak at the
Okay,
conference. We
okay,
have
good.
we have DDD, the downtown authority project. That's a lot of things that we're doing because we are engaging every segment of the ecosystem. We have people coming in from San Diego, California, from New York, from Washington D.C.
Good.
It's a start. I know I can be grateful for the steps forward that we made by engaging people like you in the academia, by engaging people in the ecosystem. But as you know, business wise, sometimes the big names they want to see first. Okay, let's see what's going to happen this year. When next year we will come. That's kind of what they're doing.
It's
But
next
what we're
Wednesday.
doing, we have a
Let's finish what we're
strategy.
going to do. Let's conclude what we're
Yeah,
going
but
to do.
listen, what you say is normally true, but what you have is a little monopoly, and it wouldn't last also a long time. Once you're successful and
I agree.
other people see, they will start imitating you. But now you have a window of opportunity that you have a little
Absolutely.
monopoly, and there is nobody that is doing quite what you are doing,
And when
not
we
only in Miami, but anywhere.
and when we told people about it, nobody knew about it. They were all excited.
Yeah, and they were trying to find you on Google, and it was too low on the search engine results page.
Right,
You
right, right.
should be in page one,
Number one.
number one, two, three. You should fill out the first page because you really are really unique right now.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I understand that.
But
As you
let's.
also, as you also know, we have some competitors, but they are not the same. They have their own. They have their 20th editions. They are doing. I know. I think.
Yeah, no,
Take
but
take take.
anyways,
But they're not exactly the same. The cross. Oh, you're not doing just music technology. You
Mhm.
cross over between music, technology, and business.
Yes,
And
exactly.
that is why you are so unique. For example, the organization like the Miami Jazz Association,
Jazz Society.
Jazz
Mhm.
Society, or something like that, and they work
Mhm.
also with the city of Miami. Have you heard about uh, what is it called? Street band,
It's street party
street bands or
stage.
Mhm.
stages. Have you
Mhm.
heard about street stages?
They do.
No.
They were on Flagler from October to this month to May. Every week, Thursday and Saturday, they got a number of musicians to play on Flagler. There's a section on Flagler that is basically closed down.
No, it is a couple of blocks away from where
From
the
this
Haitian
came
conference was, on Flagler
Okay.
Street.
yeah, on
The point that
Second.
I'm trying to tell you is this: the city of Miami is paying millions of dollars to them, and they are just an organization that is a non-profit organization, and they work with different societies, and they bring free music twice a week, and musician
Tuesday, right?
from what time? From
From
about
that, it was 5:30 to
from
at 9:30
5:30
to
to
9:30.
9:30
2
in the
seconds.
street.
Right.
what is important about them, they are in contact with all those jazz societies of Miami and Miami-Dade College and all of them.
The city of Miami sponsored them. But the idea is we were trying to promote your conference to them, and no one had heard of you.
And not only then, when they searched, they couldn't find you so easily. So,
but it's a great. We can hook you up later.
So that's what you should not only get in touch with them and let the city of Miami pay something to you and have a booth. And have a booth of the city of Miami there. You have a lot of space for sponsors that you don't take advantage of, even in the hallway, in the way before the classrooms, and
you can have them
set up a table even. They don't have to have a whole booth. Just
you don't
bring.
Have to have a whole room for them.
Yeah, bring a table with brochures. So you have to have a range of sponsors.
That even people want to give a couple $100 or $500.
Yeah, take the money.
Take the money.
Let them bring a table and a chair and a couple of flyers and sit there.
And they can even be tables. You can put them right outside the room.
Especially now in the summer, it is so hot outside that they had to stop doing the performances until October. Because it's just too hot. People cannot sit outside without air conditioning.
Even in the evening,
And what they used to do is they used to get the crowd and people to dance in the street. They closed the streets so there's no traffic. But now it is so hot that you cannot start dancing in the street.
And the physicians were sweating like buckets.
And the musicians were sweating, and they had a crew of, music engineering with speakers and audio. And
they brought out a whole crew of them.
They were all dripping wet after a while, and they had to stop between now and October. But you have to be aware of it and contact them.
And there were a number of diversity, even the head of and they were all excited about hearing about it.
And they have a huge mailing list of musicians that sponsor them, all kinds of bands from Miami and also other places, because during the winter, people from Chicago love to come to Miami to play, and they pay the bands, so the bands love to come here. But this is just one example where you can get a lot of contacts.
We can even sit down one time
after
your conference, Jean-Marie,
ecosystem
and brainstorming together.
And if you cannot afford to hire professionals, what you can do is you can have professors in the different universities make a project. You can give them for example, let's say that you want to have a website and some apps. So you can come as a guest speaker to the class and say what you want to do, and the professor will make it a class project, and we'll give it to different teams in the class, and we'll make a competition who can do the best job.
And then you could be the judge.
And you can be the judge, and you can be the receiver of the results.
The
recipient of the apps and the website and so on. And it won't cost you anything. And those that are good programmers, for example, now, to get a developer for AI is not so simple, especially when you look at a specific area like music. You cannot take any programmer, somebody like you, that doesn't know much, didn't learn much about music and AI, and tell him go program a custom-made AI that runs on a local host in our music AI lab. It's very difficult because it is new, and even the professionals have very little experience. So you have to be creative and take advantage of this window of opportunity until the other people that are doing something similar to you but not exactly the same will be spying on you. And the next year or two, they will, if you are successful, they will come and imitate you. But if you have enough of an advantage
and enough of a following,
of a follow-up, it will be cheaper for them just to buy you out. And that is a good idea, because if they buy you up for a lot of money, and then they hire you to work for them, so you do the same thing that you did before, but now you pay a salary, but more importantly, you will be selling the organization to them.
It's almost like an exit.
What you are is a startup, and you found a unique area. My brother sold this company to Intel Corporation for $16 billion. You understand what B is? $1 billion. A company that was worth nothing when they hired my brother, an electrical engineer, to design the chip for their camera. And they basically, he was supposed to be the CEO of Motorola Israel, it was. And they gave the job to somebody else, and he didn't want to live in the United States. So they basically fired him. When he didn't have what to do, this company that was worth nothing, two professors invented, have you heard about Mobileye?
Basically it's attached to
Mobileye is an autonomous vehicle navigation system.
And it does like a lane warning when your car starts moving from one lane to another.
You know, when you drive, you want to find directions to somewhere?
No, but that's...
It's the same thing. You tell him, I want to go to downtown Miami, Flagler Street.
It's not Waze.
It's like Waze. But it is a lot more sophisticated than Waze in the way that it uses vision. And it uses cameras to navigate. So for drones and all kinds of flying vehicles, for the military. So the company is called Mobileye, and Intel Corporation, you know, they bought the company for $16 billion. And instantly all the officers became billionaires and multimillionaires. And then Intel kept the company as a fully owned subsidiary for a year or two, and then went public and doubled the money from 16 billion. It is worth more than 32 billion now. And now it is a public trading company. You can type on Google Mobileye.
Like I like it. Mobileye, like your eye.
In a lot of new cars that you buy, if you buy a Honda,
Or any car.
or some of the...
All cars have it now. Obviously.
All cars have it, but many of them buy it from this company Mobileye and put their label on it.
Yeah, you don't see their number.
You don't see their name.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm telling you about it is because if you can be successful in this window of opportunity, and the big companies will notice you, but you'll be successful enough. So a lot of them want to create their own. Intel wanted to create their own camera. But when they compared their camera to the camera that my brother developed, they saw that there is no contest, and they already had such an ecosystem with so many customers that it was worth for them to pay 16 billion, and they were right, because in 2 years they made it 32 billion. So this is what you should look forward to, and read a little bit about these companies so you understand the path, how they started from nothing. A couple of professors in the university that had no business experience at all, and they were not in engineering either, so they cannot develop the motherboard of this camera. They needed an electrical engineer to develop the motherboard of the camera. They were computer science, and they developed the mathematical algorithm. They were math professors. So they had to hire somebody like my brother, and my brother before developed the fastest DSP chip for, I think it was Motorola, for these big telephones. Remember the first mobile phones that were like a brick? So they hired my brother, and now the rest is history. So if you follow the path of these companies, when you have a window of opportunity now, and you can, being a computer major, you understand the technology well. And so now integrating AI into everything, somebody that will do it well and quickly will be doing very well.
You got it. You got it.
You got it.
Anyway, you got a very good idea. In the show there, in the image, it was so much,
and then
much
also,
promotion.
you were at the DEF CON too, no?
Yeah, we did.
Were you in South Florida at
Developer conference, the DEF CON?
No.
Anyways, but you know, in the image, it was such a mess, so many people, and we were so tired. Basically, we were exhausted when we sat there at the table. We couldn't walk anymore.
I saw that.
Yeah.
So we couldn't talk to you. We were completely
Right.
exhausted.
But
anyways, I think that you have a great idea, but you have to handle it from the business standpoint. You have to handle it smartly.
Avi's also an accounting professor.
Yeah, I'm an accounting professor. This is my major
that's his background.
background. For 50 years, I was at the University of Miami, and before that in other universities.
Okay.
You have a
That's the
good
thing.
opportunity, but it's a window of opportunity. You know,
It's
if you,
timing.
yeah, it's the timing is crucial.
And now all AI is now in flux
Yeah,
too.
there's such confusion in the marketplace. Nobody knows what to do with themselves.
You said, I think I learned a lot from what you have said, you know.
What?
Uh, and we have a plan. We are also discussing with some institutions for the next editions,
Yeah.
and someone reach out to us because, as you know more than I. First of all, you have the environment, right? It's not easy. It's easy for you to have a conversation about music tech business and AI. I love those things, but for some people, they don't understand it. They
That's
don't
why
even
that is why it is an opportunity. They don't know, most
They
people don't know
exactly,
even what
and
it
it is,
is.
and most
exactly,
musicians and most
exactly.
musicians don't. All they are is they know they're scared, but they don't even
Yeah, and
know.
especially in the music
They have a fear.
industry, they think that they will,
Absolutely.
and the singer, they think that they will lose their job because you come to Chat GPT and you tell them, make me a video and make me a singer and make it sound like the Beatles and whatever. And in 5 seconds, you have the video and
Yeah.
everything.
We have the guy who just produced BBLZ Drizzy, and he put it on Spotify,
Right.
and Spotify removes the song from its platform. He will be with us.
Uh huh.
That's I understand what you're saying. I know the environment. I'm
Yeah.
learning. I'm
Yeah.
learning from the environment. I know that I have a lot of things to improve. But
You can only do
I'm
so
really,
much too. You know what I mean?
That's
sorry.
the
Don't
point,
get
that you can only do so much. Or
you.
one person,
You know what I mean? How much can you do?
and
You
so
only have 24 hours in
if
the
you can
day.
get other people that specialize, just for example,
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not only me. It's not
Right.
only me. But you would understand when you have a project like this in an environment like this. Yeah, you like the one who understands better the project, the one who can sell better the project. That's the
Yeah.
one who takes the lead.
That's
You know, that's
multi
that's that's
sensitive.
that's how it is.
Igfaro
Uh,
Malaysia.
taking the leads
Talking
is
down
how
to
you can talk like uh, the technical language, like when I'm talking like with someone like you
right.
in in business in technology. It's easy
Right.
for me because
Right.
I
Right.
know all
Right.
and but you have people in the background, but they can sell the project, they can discuss
Right.
technology, they can discuss AI.
yes,
Uh, that's why I put myself in this, and I go and I advertise it, because when someone asks you a question, then you should answer the question. If you don't know, you don't know. If you know, you know. If you
Right.
know that, it's better to have a conversation. So there is one thing that we do, and this is the DNA of what we're doing. In AI, it's just a question of conversation, to learn from people. Even you do something, you're doing something, but just have a conversation, because you all need something to be clear, you know. Uh, and from the conversation, you can learn more. I'm involved in regulation, you know.
yes.
I know about regulation. I used to be a regulator in Haiti.
Oh, really?
I know, and this is why when I say conversation, it's like, first of all, you have the regulation, the auto regulation. Auto regulation. People need to know what to do in the environment. You have co-regulation when you put two people together, and you have the regulation. So in AI, I don't think that we are there yet. We are in a conversation process. That's what I'm willing to
Yes,
sell.
yes. I
You
was
know?
working in regulation too. I was working in the Public Utility Commission
Yeah.
as a programmer analyst, and we developed models for the utility companies to negotiate price with the public
That's
utilities. So
yeah.
I just happened to be that when we were at the University of Texas in Austin, the
Mm-hmm.
university owned a lot of computing facilities that donors gave the university, but they
Mm-hmm.
didn't have enough use for it. So they rented time to the Public Utility Commission and the public utility And so they hired PhD students like myself to work for them because they didn't know the computers. And so I ended up working for the Public Utility Commission and for the Public Utility on Regulation.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the same experience. I was working in the computer lab and I knew the computers inside and out, and they were looking for developers, and that was more than 50 years ago. But I had similar experiences to you.
Yeah.
And now it will be the next phase. Now it is the conversation, and the next step will be the implementation.
Yeah. 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 I agree. And we know, and this is why, as you say, as I said, working in an ecosystem, that means you're learning from each other. So that's we are here. We're learning from the music industry, learning from people in AI, learning from people in regulation.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed when we were sitting there was something on my head. I don't know if you noticed anything.
Or maybe you didn't
because
have
it was so dark and so.
What is it, if I may ask?
Yes, that is a computer. That is a what is called a head-mounted tablet, and is a full computer. For example, that is what we are going to demonstrate there. That is a computer. The idea is to run AI on a local. You understand, if you are a computer science major, you know what is a local host, and you know what it is to run AI on a local host, which means that the AI will run off the grid without internet connectivity on your head and sync with your phone. It has a camera and it has a microphone and speaker, and it has its own SIM card and a battery.
Oh, give me 1 second. The city of Miami is calling me. Can I call you back?
Yeah. Let's continue later. But it was good talking to you, and feel free to call us later. And good luck with the city of Miami.
Thank you.
Let's just conclude. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to send you the
Let
name?
me give you Sarah to conclude. Just
Okay. So what should my next step be, Jean-Marie? Hello.
he disconnected. You have to talk to the city.
Okay. All right. So what he said is, he can't give us any more time. Maybe what he can do is have another panel of us that he'll advertise as another panel, but already he set that up, and that everybody has to pay. And he negotiated that he'll give me 3 student tickets, that he'll provide the students. Because I told him I have some student like Carlos. I'm not going to ask him to pay. You know what I mean?
And how much does he want him to pay? And he wants us to pay too?
No, he didn't say us to pay. You know what I mean? But it was like that we wouldn't pay, but everybody else is going to have to pay. Maybe he can give like a 15% discount to those.
He said about some code that he will give.
Yeah, he'll give me a code. You understand? He'll give me a code, but everybody has to pay. And I said, well, I'm not sure that we have it, that everybody's going to be willing to pay in order to be speaking.
Yeah, all right.
You know what I mean? And he basically, I said maybe the lawyer would pay, since he's a law firm.
Right.
You know, what's it for him to pay $150 or whatever? Yeah. But the other ones, I don't know if they're willing to pay. And then I say I have someone else from Venezuela. He's living with his parents. He has no money to pay at all. Because he said, what's he willing to pay?
Yeah, well, negotiate, like in Haiti.
You know, like in Haiti. He's in problem. And then I started telling him about variable costs and fixed costs. And then he got insulted that he has an MBA.